Chapter 4 The Magic Islands by Zai Whittaker.
The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are on top of the list of the Earth's most beautiful and scenic places. Their beauty has been praised in poems, novels, paintings, and poetic names given to them, such as Emerald Isles, Jewels in the Sea, and the Islands of Paradise. But the real value of the Andaman and Nicobar goes far beyond their beauty. There are unique features that make it a very special place, and one that must be protected at any cost. The zoologist would say that there are hundreds of mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians in the islands that are endemic. The botanist would remind us about the 200 endemic flowering plants. But the most important statements would come from the anthropologist and ecologist. The anthropologist would say, "We have endemic people here." The Andamanese, Jarawa, Sentinelese, Shompen, Onge, and Nicobarese are endemic cultures, found only in this one tiny spot and nowhere else on Earth. The ecologist would loudly claim that the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago is one of the biodiversity hotspots of the world, with hundreds or even thousands of living things sharing a habitat or natural area. In a high biodiversity area like the Andaman and Nicobar rainforests, there is a population explosion of different species of insects, birds, plants, reptiles, amphibians, and mammals. In fact, rainforests have the highest biodiversity of any ecosystem in the world, and these magic islands still have some precious undisturbed rainforest left. One afternoon at Ariel Bay, North Andaman, Annamalai and I stood quietly in a patch of rainforest, looking skywards. Up there, about 30 meters above our astonished heads, was the canopy or treetop. From somewhere deep inside it came the sad hooting of an owl, not happy about being woken up during the day. The cause of irritation was a group of flying foxes or fruit bats, which were creating a racket about something or the other. The umbrella-like canopy had many other birds too, including parakeets, pigeons, and barbets. A woodpecker was hunting insects, hammering away at the trunk of a fig tree with its beak, hard enough to give anyone a bad headache. We spent a long time at the tree and saw a cat snake, 4 species of lizards, and many insects, including some beautiful butterflies and a large moth that was sitting very still and trying to pretend it was part of the tree trunk. On the soft, humus-packed ground, frogs called and leeches made their hungry way toward our feet. That fig tree was like a whole little world with at least 50 species of animals living on its branches and trunk. But the rainforest is just one of the several important ecosystems of the typical Andaman-Nicobar Islands. Beyond is the mangrove belt, with its crazy tangle of aerial roots that look like crowds of waving arms and dancing legs. Mangrove trees are very special. Their habitat is seawater and salty soil, both dangerous, actually fatal for ordinary trees. But mangroves are not ordinary trees. They have evolved special organs and habits to deal with their salty lives. For example, their funny-looking prop roots have pores with which they breathe in air, since the soil has very little oxygen. Their roots filter out salt, and so do their leaves. The leaves can store salt and taste very salty indeed. The mangrove forest and adjoining creeks are the home of the saltwater crocodile, the largest predator in the islands and also the largest reptile in the world. Salties or saltwater crocodiles grow to 7 meters in length, but the average day-to-day salty is 3 or 4 meters. In spite of their size, they can move incredibly fast. They play an important role in keeping the environment balanced and healthy. They eat predatory fish, which help humans directly because these predator fish feed on the smaller species that we like to eat. Beyond the mangrove belt is the beach, often with white sand which looks like a ring of ice from a distance. This is where sea turtles nest. 4 species of sea turtles nest in these islands: the green, the olive ridley, the hawkbill, and the giant leatherback, weighing almost 1,000 kilos. The nesting season of sea turtles is from October to March in the islands. The female sea turtle has to dig a hole in the island, lay 100 to 200 eggs, cover them up, make a false nest to fool predators, and waddle back into the ocean totally exhausted. The baby turtles, only as big as an idli and not much heavier, hatch about 60 days later and scramble into the sea. One of the big turtle mysteries is that the mother turtle returns to nest and lay her eggs on the very same beach where she hatched many years ago. Scientists have made a very interesting discovery about the eggs of crocodiles and sea turtles. We used to believe that the number of males and females in a nest is decided by the genes and chromosomes in the embryo or unhatched animal. But recent studies have shown that it is the nest temperature which makes the hatchling a girl or a boy. Isn't that interesting? Mother Nature regulates the nest temperature so as to produce the right number of males and females. Beyond the beautiful beaches are the coral reefs, a kaleidoscope of color and shape. The waters of these islands are crystal clear, so we are able to see corals and fish from the surface without having to dive underwater. Many species of coral and other animals and plants inhabit these rainforests of the ocean, as coral reefs are called. This 4-layer ecosystem, the rainforest, mangrove, beach and reef, is the typical Andaman and Nicobar Island. Because of these fantastic habitats within such close range of one another, the island's biodiversity is extremely high, one of the highest in the world. Adapted from Magic Islands. Preserving the many different aspects of nature is as important as preserving our own lives.